When it comes to Web3, we love to talk about the future, but not all of us agree on what that looks like. Gaming and NFTs? Maybe. Perhaps you're in the camp that reckons NFTs have had their moment in the sun. Things certainly aren't going especially well for them right now, not that they're going well for anybody really. But the future is being built at this moment, and it sounds a lot like non-fungible tokens are going to have a big role to play come tomorrow. NFTs and gaming are one of the big topics right now in the Web3 space. For instance, NFT sales, of course, continue to slump. In August, it was down some $700 million from 4.7 billion. As of January, buyers pulling out amid the wholesale slump that we've seen in crypto prices. But they are also the talk of town in Blockchain Week in Busan in South Korea. That is where Crypto.com Chief Operating Officer Eric Anziani has been telling everyone to look for growth in Web3.
The fact that you own an asset, if you work hard in a game, the fruit of labor is your own, and you can use that asset in other games, making the asset interoperable. It's going to be extremely powerful. That will change the game, no pun intended. We haven't seen yet a game that has gone to scale, but with the level of capital we have today in our industry, last year there was 30 billion invested, the level of talent we have in our industry as well, those gaming use cases that get us to scale will emerge. I'm convinced of that. With NFT, you have that digital asset ownership that you can see in games, but you also have control over your identity and your data. And that's where social file, social network mixed with Web3 will be extremely powerful. Digital identity, controlling your identity on multiple platforms as a user, but also as a creator.
Gaming in Web3, though, still has some fairly big question marks hanging over, especially in South Korea. There's debate there right now about whether to designate the metaverse as a game, for instance. The Ministry of Science and ICT has said that it ultimately plans to issue new guidelines for the metaverse nonetheless. That is despite some calls for applying existing laws around video games. One issue with that is that for online or mobile games in South Korea, those are banned from using cashable reward systems, which include the use of blockchain. The rule supposedly intended to prevent excessive speculation. What it's not doing, however, is stopping companies like Crypto.com from pushing forwards with things like NFT joint ventures. It has just signed a partnership agreement, for instance, with K-pop agency Fantasia.
We've already partnered with numerous talent companies in the entertainment space, in the gaming space, in Korea. And not only partnered, but we also launch and brought to market these partnerships. Whether with K-pop groups like Mamamoo, where we celebrated their 8th anniversary with a drop. We explored also virtual idol with Metamu and the Fantasia group. And there's a lot more that is to come.
All of this comes as South Korea pushes ahead with its plans for the city of Busan itself. But why Busan, when there are seemingly so many regulatory hurdles to overcome in South Korea? Well, perhaps it's because the city has been designated a regulation-free zone for blockchain technology. We've covered that in a previous episode. The idea, essentially, is that it exists outside of the rest of Korea's regulations on the sector, which means developers are able to work on projects they would otherwise be off limits. The move has led to agreements being struck there with the likes of Binance, FTX and Huobi, two of the biggest names in crypto, of course, CZ and SBF. Both sound pretty bullish on the prospect of Busan becoming a blockchain hub.
We have seen the country of Korea more generally be a huge catalyst for innovation, really in a number of industries over the years, but in the digital asset industry as well. It has always been one of the largest sources of products in the area, one of the largest sources of liquidity. And, we're really excited to see regulators and industry working hand in hand.
Korea remains a very important market, and I believe it is very important for any economy in the world to adopt the blockchain technology to ensure their future growth. Short term, there will be some disruptions, there will be some pain, but there's also many gains.
Meanwhile, Leon Foom, Binance's head of APAC, has added that there's more to it than simply having easy regulatory environments in which to work.
We had many discussions in terms of what are the key factors of success to building successful local ecosystems, not specifically to just an exchange, but to building a healthy local ecosystem. And I think there were some very, very valid points that are shared. There are also some key countries that we can learn from, right? And I think you need to understand that building an ecosystem is more than just getting the licenses, right? It's more than just being compliant with local federal rules, but it's also having the right ecosystem to attract talent, to retain talent, right? And to have the right success stories to be able to attract more capital to come in.
But while Busan pushes forwards on gaming and NFTs, others seem skeptical about the prospect for future success. A report from New York tech firm Activate Consulting has just claimed that the hype cycle for NFTs is absolutely over, but big changes are set to come next year. Much of what those changes look like and their legacy for the whole Web3 ecosystem could yet hinge on what happens in Busan. Alright, that's it for this episode. Like and subscribe to this video for more content like it, and let us know your thoughts down below in the comments.